quick. And
Man, you brought back some old memories, bro, and I want to give you your flowers. Like it's crazy to see your growth and your progression. I know your trials and tribulations in your personal world and how you've been able to power through in entrepreneurship. Man, it's just a testament to your work. And so everyone that's on this call, you guys are absolutely in the right place. I want to just give you that first and foremost because I've been working with Taj and his community. What goes back to like 3 years, right, man? You guys were a part of like a very early crew of people that joined our done for you lead gen services, and that's really how team I got started into building a business, and I'm going to get into those pleasantries in just a second. But before I go and do that, I did have a couple questions I wanted just to get the group talking just a little bit, so I can actually really also understand too, sort of a pulse check of where everyone's at with their experience with virtual assistants. So let me just share my screen here, team. File, view. I've never used this dang Keynote before. I've always, there we go. Let me try full note. There we go. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. So, quick pulse check, guys. And I want everyone to just drop a number in the chat so I can understand where we're at. Do you guys currently, or who here currently has a virtual assistant inside their business? Awesome. Great, great, great. Love that. And if you don't, it's okay. Love to hear it. Perfect. Awesome. So for those that I'm just genuinely curious, for those that do have a virtual assistant, is that just one VA that you guys have at the moment, or do you also have a virtual team? If you have a virtual team, press 3 or do 3, just one. Okay, cool. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Love it. All right. So regardless if you guys have a VA or not, I promise this will be impactful today. Because this is not just about getting one VA. This is about, again, building a team that can run without you in it. All right. So, whoops. Go. How do I go to this next slide here? Swap. Two. There we go. All right. So next, sorry guys, I've not used this Keynote before, but I promise it'll be worth every wait. So next here is what has been the biggest challenge for you guys building out a virtual team? So if you guys could just drop your numbers in here so I can get a quick pulse check, excuse me, again. I'll go right back. All right, all right, all right. Or all of the above. Okay. Virtual assistant turnover. Okay. All right. Love it. So that's enough. That's all I need to know, team. So just a little bit about me, guys. By the way, everything that you guys, all the apprehensions about VAs, I've heard it before, whether that's English speaking skills, whether that's, hey, I don't trust somebody that's international that I've never met in person, or just the fear of letting go of your business. I mean, I let so many things, or excuse me, I held on to so many things inside of my business for so many years, only to find that I should have been letting go of these day-to-day tasks a lot longer, a lot longer ago, and I would have been a lot happier in the process. And so my goal today, team, is to obviously share by credibility, but share by experience, and also let you guys know that there is a much easier way to building a company. And a big part of this funding program that you guys are going through, and all the game that I know Taj has given you to use OPM, that needs to go to infrastructure. That needs to go to something that can help grow your business. And that a great opportunity for that. And what I did with my first rounds of funding in the initial stages would actually go towards two things. One, it was towards mentorship. And then two, it was towards my first virtual assistant. And I, like many of you guys, come from the corporate background, W-2, hustling back in 2016, selling cybersecurity software and doing 150, $100 a day. So my pedigree came back in sales. I knew the power of software. I understood how to conduct business. But I had never built a company before. I came from very humble beginnings. And if those have heard my story before, my dad's a my mom's a preschool teacher and my dad's a landscaper. And so I always knew how to work hard, but I needed to figure out how to work smart. And part of that is leverage, right? Number one is OPM, but number two, what I love is OPT, other people's time, right? And so once I hired my first VA after opening up my wholesale business, I was able to actually have a VA sit and make calls for me during the day while I was working, as well as my brother, who was my business partner. And what that VA was doing was setting up qualified appointments for me and my brother to go close for our wholesale business. And voila, after 3 months of hiring our first VA, after trying to do this on our own for 6 months straight, we ended up closing our first deal. And that was all due to the leverage of having that VA do the dials for us. So that opened up Pandora's box for me. Since then, I've only run businesses with virtual teams. This is me and my wife back in Paris actually last year. We love to travel the world. And that's my goal for all of you guys, is that not only does building a virtual team make it easier for you to get your business off the ground, but it also gives you a tremendous amount of freedom and flexibility to now conduct your business anywhere, right? And so I am by no means the biggest entrepreneur out there, and I'm actually still trying to get to $1 million a year in ARR. I am right on that path with you guys. So that, again, is what makes me so excited, is that this is going to be a great first step. And these virtual assistants will be that necessary step to give you that entry into the business world with a low risk, low headache, and high margin opportunity. So I've certainly shared enough about my background. Let's get into, of course, what matters the most, which is tactical takeaways and actual SOPs and action items that you guys can take into your day-to-day and start building right now. So, but I know that there's a few of you guys that might be brand new to VAs, right? And so I wanted to share just a very quick anecdote of the world that I'm living in right now and how hard it is to get started in business. So for anyone that might be in real estate or interested in getting started in real estate, I actually run a call center and I run a real estate wholesale business. And this number blew me away when I was doing the going and recapping all the data from last year. I was figuring out, okay, how many seller leads, how many sellers do we need to speak to in 2026 in order to convert one lead? And the answer was 176 sellers. Now, when I launched DIY Real Estate Group back in 2021, we used to only have to speak to 68 sellers in order to get a qualified lead. So what does that mean for us in the business world? Well, what that means is we have to do double the data costs, because we have to do 2 times the effort. We have to do 2 times the phone number cost and the dialer seat cost and the software it takes, because we're working more hours and we're making more volume of calls. And then that ultimately requires us to double the commitment for our talent, right? And so all that's to say, guys, regardless of whatever world you're in right now, I think we can all agree it has never been harder to get started, right? And so what I'm preaching to so many of us, and again, what we're going to get out of today's discussion, is understanding that we cannot do it alone, and understand that the opportunity for VAs, the secret's certainly out, and there is a high demand for these people right now. And so not only today do I want to bring home the point that this is an opportunity for you guys, but to take that a step further and to make sure that we're not just getting VAs, but we're getting the best VAs in our business, ones that are bought into our culture, ones that know exactly where the bodies are buried, as we say in our business, that don't have to bother you guys for constant pinging of questions and bottlenecks that are occurring. These are people that actually are bought in to the overall mission and message of your business. And it's going to come with challenges. It's going to come with hiccups, but these people will be bought in so much that they will wake up every single day with a smile on their face and will do the dirty work for you. And that's the type of talent that we want to cultivate, not high turnover, not people that we don't trust, not people that don't show up on time or having issues with tidal waves or monsoons. That's what it is that come through and screws up the internet connection every day. I think we know what we're talking about here, right? This is the type, we don't want that type of talent. We want talent that ultimately is going to be bought in and with us for the long run. And so just to double down on some of the points here, guys, before we get into some of the tactical work, I wanted to show by numbers, real anecdotes. Women lie, men lie, but numbers don't, right? And here's a number that really blew me away when I look back at my expenses actually, this was in 2023. And I think right now my team teeters anywhere between 30 to 40 VAs. At the highest point, I had 60, 65 VAs back in 2023. And thanks to the power of software and AI, we don't need to have that many people on staff anymore. But when I looked at what my total VA team cost me, I'm spending about $18,000, give or take, a month on my virtual team. But during this time, it was only $400 a month per person when I broke down that entire number for 2023. And I was like, oh my goodness, what does that equate to when I think about if I was to hire someone domestic, right? And if you think about a team, that's the equivalent of 2 sales reps in the US, right? So with the power of 33 people now for the price of 2 sales reps, I can now have an army to run my business every single day versus 2 people that can do, a quarter of that work, of that operation. So again, I wanted to make sure that you guys understood that there is a massive opportunity right now with virtual assistants, and not just with VAs and getting one into your business, but building that ecosystem, right? So question is, all right, Kyle, great. I get it. I understand. We understand that VAs are necessary. How do we know if they're right for our business, and how do we get them into our business as quickly as possible, trained up and onboarded as efficiently as possible? So, question you got to ask yourself: if you have a W-2 or you have a side hustle or another business, because I have 3 different brands and businesses that I run under one virtual team, and I like many of you, don't like to get into just one thing. Now that's can be good or bad depending on who you speak to, but that's the visionary in me. I like to have a lot of different eggs in one basket. And so I think if you are like me and you like that, different dynamics, or you're maybe trying to get out of your W-2 and into your business full time, you got to start leveraging VAs. And we got to start figuring out how to do that to replace the remedial tasks of the day to day. Number 2, if you're drowning in that day to day, and that can be bogged down in things like sales calls, customer success calls, HR related issues. I think you guys all know what putting out fires look like, right? If you look back at the course of your day and you're putting out a lot of fires and you're not talking or doing revenue generating activities and talking to potential prospects, then you're definitely bogged down. And that is the perfect time to get a VA. And lastly, this is a really exciting one. This is when you have a proven offer, right? When you actually have business coming in and you've proven that you can make business doing the work on by yourself. And you're like, great, I know now that there's a business model behind this. I need to get myself out of this position as quickly as possible. So all of these things, team, and there's a lot more reasons out there, but the biggest thing is making sure that you guys do yourself a service right now, and we're going to have an action item and a resource to do an audit at the end, which is making sure you guys don't stay in these roles too long, because it can be really, I hate to say life or death of your business, but if you wait too long, you're going to let that bottleneck grow too big, and it sometimes you can't come back from it. Right. And so it's really, really important that we start to get these skills right now. And so here's a great first step into it. I want to give you guys a 5-step process and actually access to some training resources that I'm going to break into in just a second and walk you guys through. But here's a 5-step process for hiring our first VA. And you're going to get this deck. You're also going to get access to these SOPs that I'm going to go over, guys. It's, again, just completely free. And some of these resources Taj has maybe even seen in the past, but it's tried and true methods, team, for sourcing, qualifying, and getting people in the seat, and then making sure that they know exactly what they're doing for the first 30, 60, 90 days in the seat. So step 1 is obviously making sure that we have a clear understanding of what that role looks like, a clear SOP built behind it so that when they get into the seat, they know exactly what they're doing. And then ultimately what we want to do is we want to get that SOP, get that role out into our hiring funnel, make it clear, make it creative, make it decisive, make it welcoming to fit your culture, and really sell you guys on why they want to work with your business. And I'm going to show you my hiring funnel in just a second. And actually, let me just jump into it. you know what? I'm just gonna go into it. I like showing you guys real. Let's go. All right. So can everyone see? Virtual assistants hiring. This Google Drive right here. All right, perfect. So I want to share with you guys, this is going to be the hiring funnel. So there's two different resources that you have in here. Now this funnel is built for an acquisitions and closing role. So you can apply this. There's going to be, I think I have another one for a caller in here. But what you guys are going to see is the way that we set the overall expectation of what we need from them, making sure that it's clear as far as the technical requirements, the role requirements, and then a clear understanding of what the hourly pay and bonuses will be. This one we kept ambiguous because acquisitions can be different depending on tenure. For our cold calling roles, entry level roles, everything is said clearly what they're going to be paid on the hourly basis and what's been mapped out for it. But what you're going to see in this funnel team is that it's purpose built to help make sure that we can qualify and disqualify talent as quickly as possible in the form responses stage. And I'm going to show you guys what I mean by that. So you're going to see here, when people start answering, just the same way you guys probably have to answer various hiring questions and resume, or when you guys are out doing your job applications, right? They're very intentional with making questions so that if people skip them or people don't do the work, people don't actually record themselves and make it more personable. If they don't do what they're required to do, the AI or the machine is just going to immediately disapprove them. They're not allowed, right? You know that most of these corporate companies aren't really looking at all of these resumes, and that's because they're letting they have a process, or they're letting the machine do that for them. Well, we do the same thing here for VAs, right? We would do the same exact process. We don't make a hiring post that just says, "Hey, I want a VA, and I need a VA who speaks good English, and I want a VA who can close me deals or get me leads." We need to make sure that we're qualifying based on things like their personality, their skills, their tech setup, all the things that are going to allow us to understand, can this person not only do the job, but can they also actually show up consistently and be dependable, right? Have strong internet connection. All these things that make sure that we actually know that they're going to show up. Now, I don't want to spend too much time on the hiring on this forum. What I really wanted to get to more so was some best practices and where you guys can actually go out and start finding talent. But my last piece on the best practice is you guys are going to see here an example welcome video. And this is so freaking cringe, man. This is crazy. All right. So this was 4 years ago. I shot this in my apartment. I looked tired as hell. I probably was like really, I mean, this is like literally founder's mode, right? I have an idea and a vision, and I'm just trying to get my first VA into this business DIY. So I had built 3 callers at this time. And what I wanted to do was build a team. And so I have this video in here that really goes through, hey guys, this is a little bit about me. This is about my business. This is the opportunity that we're trying to build here. Like, I didn't make it anything too crazy that you guys can see, but I'll tell you right now, some of my best operations managers and VAs to date told me this in confidence. They're like, listen, dude, I see a lot of hiring forms out there. I see I see people that need VAs all the time. But the fact that you put a video in your hiring funnel says a lot about you and says a lot about how much you care about your company. And I want to be a part of that. And so just that little piece, guys, allowed me to stick through the pack, right? And so it's little things like that. Oh, thanks, Omnia. Appreciate you. I didn't know you were in here. Do you want to say a quick hello, Miss Omnia?
Yeah, absolutely. You guys can hear me?
I can, loud and clear. So, guys,
Hey, everyone.
yes, please introduce yourself. Omnia has been my operations manager of 4 years, going on 5 now. And so she actually may have seen this video once upon a time.
I did actually, yes. So, yeah, my name is Omnia. I'm out of Egypt. I've been working virtually for 6 years now. I can't believe it's been 6 years. But I've done a lot of things, including hiring people for entrepreneurs in the US, but small businesses, and I really just one take I'm gonna share with you guys. One thing you don't pay attention to when you're hiring a VA is their personality. You go online on some Facebook group, you go online on Fiverr or Upwork, you get someone to do the job for you, but you really, really ignore the fact that their personality does not match yours or your team or their manager. And then you end up having someone either leaving you or stealing your data or trying to sabotage your business in any way or form, or they're not reliable in a sense. And this is the kind of test I think I did a good job at building Kyle's team and other businesses teams as well, is to make sure that I understand your personality as a business owner, your values, what drives you, and match that with some other VA overseas that share the same values, same understanding, same um, personality as you. Everyone got skills, but not everyone is a go get it kind of person, and that's what you or not you, but most people hiring VAs ignore when they're trying to qualify candidates. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Nice to meet you, everyone.
I love that anecdote, Omnia. That's a very good point. So yeah, that's in line exactly with the theme of hiring, right, guys? When we think about being intentional with when we go out and make posts and we're looking for the right VA, or whether you guys end up working with us and you wanting to sit down with our team and have us find the right VA for you, at the end of the day, it's not going to be a cookie cutter approach. Every business is different, every personality is different. I think that's, to Neo's point, one of the biggest things we've tried to really work on in the last few years is how we mold talent as culture fits as well. And you're spot on. I do. Did anyone have any questions, by the way? I've done a lot of talking and I want to make sure that we keep this interactive with everyone. Does anyone have any specific questions or hurdles that they've had when hiring VAs? Please feel free to come off mute or drop your question in the chat, because I'd love to help you guys in your process as well. And if we're good, no worries. I'll keep plugging away.
Yeah.
So,
Sir, I think right now we should be good, but everybody make sure that y'all do take out questions, write them down, and always remember, there's no such thing as a bad question at all. All right, there's no such thing, especially when it's something that's new and it's fresh, and stuff like that. So just know, and I know there's some people in here who are still. Everybody in here is looking to get into some type of form of entrepreneurship at the end of the day, because nobody wants to be stuck inside of like that 9 to 5.
I shouldn't be taking you nowhere.
Oh,
Yeah, I had a question.
okay.
Yep.
My bad, I couldn't find the window.
You good?
But how do I heard like some bad stuff about like
Think a man.
they open on the VA like take a client information.
yep. So
How
I
do you
think
stop that?
Yeah, so auditing, right? Like auditing and making sure that we have, I think that's a great, great topic, which is how do we avoid problematic scenario, VAs turning on us, right? Because it can happen.
Yes.
Jump in.
Okay. So yeah, that's a really good question, and this is why I'm talking about the personality thing. Reasons why VAs do such things is, first, we did not audit them right when we were hiring them. We went for someone that is cheap or someone that does not have a background. We did not check their previous work. We did not ask for uh, some kind of referral, or just let me know who you worked with before. I need to ask them about you. We did not communicate clearly with that person and made sure that they understand, and we did not get invested in them. You have no idea how many people that sound great on Instagram, and they have six-figure businesses, and at the end of the day they treat VAs in the most horrific way. And at this point, the VA either is revengeful and they want to just take your information and fuck you up excuse my French, or they really don't care about you and your business, and they start sabotaging your business. So you really gotta just make sure that you really audit and spend some time, because this person is overseas. If you're waiting for us or for me, I'm a VA. I've been a VA for years, and I've ran businesses for years. I've owned my own business, and I've never been to the US yet. Kyle trusts me, and everyone I worked with trusts me. Why so? Because they've been respectful to me, and I have been honest and respectful and transparent with them. That's how it should be. If someone is not spending enough time to talk to me as a VA, and you get to hear my perspective right now, if someone is not respectful to me, I'm sorry. I really don't care if you succeed or you lose. At the end of the day, I want to get paid. There is no actual SOP that I can give you that will say, "Hey, this guarantees that the VA is not going to steal your data."
Clients.
Or it,
Yeah.
someone has a question, I guess.
Oh, I don't know if anyone jumped back on for a
I think somebody
question.
might have accidentally came off of mute.
Oh,
Okay.
you're good, Omnia. I think that's a good point, Omnia. When you mentioned, like, I'm going to talk about two things that you guys ultimately can do to audit. There's two things, because at the end of the day, we all have to be adults, right? We all have to. There will absolutely be situations where a VA may have done you dirty or not shown up to work that day for unbeknownst reasons, and you have to kind of navigate. We call it incident handling. So here's some things that we can do to get ahead of it. Number one is what we call this quality auditing form. Can you guys see this quality auditing form right in front of me? I'm going to try to.
Yep.
This single-handedly saved my company. And it sounds like a ridiculous thing to say, but it really did on Nea. So what I had when I first started, which most of us have, is a great business idea and usually a couple repeatable business examples. We made money. We start getting the visionary idea of how we're going to build this into a business. And then we start building the ship as we're flying it. We all do that as entrepreneurs. Well, my ship was, or my plane, whatever you want to do as the metaphor, was crashing. And what I realized is I didn't have two things. I didn't have a HR playbook, which basically is my, when things happen in the business, there needs to be laws in place, right? And so I didn't have laws in place, and it was very lawless, and there was a lot of issues I was dealing with. Remember, Omnia was very toxic. It was a lot of like, there was just
Yeah.
there was no structure and also no auditing measures in place. And so number one, team, is have this, and I'll send you guys an abridged version. I have a copy of it included in this folder that I'll send to all of you guys, which is a handbook that helps sort of establish things like company culture, what's the no-show policy, what's paid time leave off policy, sick leave, unpaid time off, compensation, promotions, and things like blacklisting, right? What happens if they cross the line, right? So, these are things that have to be established in your business. And if you set that number one, so that you have a single source of truth and that it's not you, it's some other source. It's not Kyle making those decisions. It's not you as a business owner. It's literally, hey guys, this isn't me. This is the Bible that we've established as the business, if we want to call it that. And we have these rules in place for a reason, right? So that's number one. Then we had this measure, which was this auditing form. And so what I did is I appointed Omnia and I appointed other people that started to take on leadership roles to have to fill this out every single day. I mean, Omnia, how ridiculous was that for a while? Wasn't this like a daily practice? I'm not sure if she might have, she might have dropped. She's not in here, unfortunately. But if she does jump back in, I'll have her speak to it. But this was literally a daily practice.
Sorry, I was speaking on mute. Again, Kyle, what was the question? What's the point?
Oh no, you're good. Remember when? No, you're fine. Remember when we first implemented the quality auditing, and it was like a very manual. It was very basic.
Yes.
It was literally a form that we had you guys fill out on every single caller, every single really entry level person, And keep in mind, team, we're talking a team of 5 at this point. We're talking like a team of 6 at this point, really not big. But I had to have those that were overseeing, and I ultimately was reviewing these reports as well. But keep in mind, I was working a day job. I was working a W-2. I was just like a lot of you guys. Like I was hustling to try to get out of trying to build this business while I'm working and making money in other areas. So like at the end of the day, I had to keep having these like sort of measures in place to make sure that my team was being held accountable for the job that I was hiring for. And ultimately, some people will work out and some people won't. But my last point to bring this point forward is the faster you can pick up on red flags, the less these things happen within your business. And the more that your team sees you picking up on these red flags, the less they try to take advantage of you. And they also recognize that you're a serious business owner, and that if you take your business serious, they will also take your business serious. That was an awesome question, by the way. Thank you for allowing us to go over that topic, because that had us go into a couple different directions, whoever asked that question.
I actually want to add something in here, guys. You don't really, because this mainly was for calling. So if you have someone doing appointment setting, if you have someone doing some cold calls or doing follow-ups, this would be perfect. But let's say I have a VA that's doing some sort of like untrackable tasks, admin tasks, or maybe handling operations or tech stuff or marketing. It will be hard to use this to audit. So make it very simple. Hey, you're my VA. I need you to send me a report at the end of the day. Here are the tasks that I have done, and here are my priorities for tomorrow. This way, they can Slack you, they can WhatsApp you, they can send you a message on Telegram, whatever that you're using, and you don't even have to be on your computer to check what they have done with their day. This way you get to see what happened, and then you get to, when you have your laptop on, you can check if they got the work done. And this is the most simple thing. I'm not saying have a project management tool or pay for whatever CRM. WhatsApp, they can send you exactly what they have done, and then you can check later if it's done or not. But mainly, again, if a VA feels that you trust them, and I remember when we were working with Kyle, the team really trusted him when he got vulnerable. He sat down with us and he was like, "Hey, I'm having a rough batch with the business." The minute the team saw him vulnerable, the minute the team saw that he trusts them to get us out of this situation, everyone, literally everyone, and we're all in Egypt. We've never met Kyle, we've never been around Kyle, he's never seen us aside from Zoom. But eventually we rolled up our sleeves and we had to take the hit and we had to bring our A game to the table. You need to be a human at the end of the day with the person that you're working with. They don't need you to be micromanaging them. They need to feel like, okay, you're a part of they're part of your business, your vision. I can be vulnerable sometimes. I can be lost. I don't know what to do. And you'll be amazed what your VA can bring to the table as well. So I would say simplify your tracking and auditing process so it doesn't feel like you're adding more work to your table, instead of like, I hired a VA to take some work off of my plate. Now I'm doing extra work to manage that VA, and now it just feels pointless at this point. So that's
Really,
another take on it. Just simplify the process.
man, almost shed a tear. That was amazing. Thank you, Omnia.
I always make you cry. I know that.
Many times over the 5 years. That's the beauty of building a business together. But guys, she's spot on a lot of great points. I also want to make it abundantly clear. Yes, this is just these resources I have in for you guys certainly aligns more to my business model. I just wanted to have something in there for you guys to just really get your head thinking, and to make sure we don't spend too much time on the hiring process, because there's some other things I want to get in front of you guys. Here's one more resource that's very helpful. These are actually just some groups that you guys can go in. And, what I was doing, a lot of people do like Fiverr, they like Upwork, and that's fine. I think you can definitely get really good talent out there. I'm big right now on just cutting out the middleman. I know that there's people out there looking for jobs and VAs looking for jobs all the time. They just happen to also use Upwork and Fiverr for another way of getting their name out there. So I'd rather not pay a premium and then really work on also just building my funnel the way I want it. And that's how I did it. building a VA from 1 to then 60. And so this is a couple groups that I use, and I put job posts in here. I have some best practices in there for you all, as well as some example posts, right? Try to read this, of course. You can see examples for the application. You can even see my welcome video that I put in for you guys. A lot of the themes and things that we covered, just so that for those that weren't taking notes, are in this SOP, the standard operating procedure. You can even see my wife freaking posed for me. She was technically my first VA. My wife posed me for that ad. So just get creative, guys. This is all free. This is free stuff that I did. Put yourself out there. And again, this is, of course, if, ultimately this is something we can help you with if you want to work with our team. But I have these resources in there for you. What I wanted to do is let's jump over to, all right, next. Oh, that is more. There we go. All right. So we went over the 5-step process. We're still seeing my screen, right? The 5-step process to your first VA. Shoot. You guys still with me? Sorry, I lost a couple screens. Just want to make sure you can still hear me.
Yes, sir. Yep, we got you. Yeah,
okay. Awesome.
I see you right now.
Yes.
All right, got it. All right, so in here we'll have the 5 steps, more defined and broken out for you guys. So again, if you weren't taking notes, one thing I did want to finish up on is more of the new, obviously trending topic, which is AI, right? Obviously, we're all using AI in a million different ways. Every software has an AI component to it now. But what Omnia and I have been big advocates of are the story of a better together story between AI and humans, right? I think we're all realizing that AI is in a big way like a commodity, and it's not always used to be a one-on-one replacement of a person. And I think that's, for our benefit, a good thing, right? And so what I've seen work really well though, guys, and I want to use a very quick story of when I told you we went from 60 or so, I think at the height of it, like somewhere between 50 and 60 VAs. And we did a massive, massive reduction in our overhead and our team when we were repivoting. And we were able to save a bunch of money. We had to unfortunately let go of some people, but we were able to go and reduce that down to about like 30 VAs. And we were still able to run the same exact operation. We actually increased our revenue. I think by that year was like 20 or 30% year over year that year we had. And our expenses for our team have continued to stay the same, if not gone down when I look at my VA costs every year. And that is due to the power of AI. And so what I think what that story shares with you, and why I wanted to bring that to the fold, was more so like build a team around VAs, right? Build a VA team around AI, right? Build your operation around AI and scale more efficient with AI, and get really, really good people into your business, like I have with Omnia, and get them bought in to stay with you for 5 years, and ultimately continue to nurture them and continue to enable them with really cool emerging technologies. And I'm going to give you guys a list of them that can help you set your VAs up for success. But I want you to really understand this, right? These are people, as Omnia has mentioned, not products, right? They are not robots. VAs need constant attention, TLC in the very like 90 to 120 days, and then you can sort of start to see the fruits of your labor go, and you can completely be disconnected from your business. But here are a couple very helpful resources and tools for you guys, and then we'll wrap up with a quick call to action. So a couple ones, and you see, right, these are mostly freemium or low cost. I'm big on freemium. I think we do about $500,000 in revenue, somewhere between 450K for DIY a year. And I believe our software costs are only around $3,000 to $4,000 a month. Like we really don't spend a lot of money. And half of that's because of our dialer. Our ready mode dialer probably costs us like $2,500 a month of that. So my point being, team, is that we have built a great great operation with very like, I would say it's an operation that can always get bigger. I'm nowhere near my revenue goals, but what makes me happy is that when we have ebbs and flows in the economy and shit starts hitting the fan because of a tweet or something, right? I can navigate slower months because I don't have all this. I don't have brick and mortar, and I don't have all this overhead. And so, as a new entrepreneur, guys, I've found that it's been very helpful using these freemium software pieces first, and then as you start actually getting more out of them, then you can start using the paid versions. But many of them, Slack, I use the free version. ClickUp, I use the free version. And I'll go into those tools very quickly with you guys. Who here is familiar? Actually, who here uses a project management tool like ClickUp or Monday or Trello? Just out of curiosity. Nope. Okay, cool. All right. So let me just share this with you guys. So ClickUp is a free tool, and I'll go under the hood of ours a little bit. Wonderful. Oh, I'll send it to my other version. I don't think it's going to have.
Are we supposed to be seeing something right now? Because right now we're just seeing you.
Oh, really? I'm sorry, bro. Let me see.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's what happened before. It kind of popped off, and then we're just seeing you. So if you're sharing a screen, it's definitely not sharing a screen right now.
Okay,
All right,
no
all
worries.
right, cool. Yeah, we good. We good. All right.
No worries. All right. So, Omnia, do you happen to have your ClickUp logged into by any chance? No.
Nope, mine doesn't have access to
Okay, there we go.
everything. Here, there.
Got it. So I'll just show you guys very quickly. This is just an example version. But this is like a project management tool. And if you were to go into our like production version, what it has broken down is like all of our clients, all of my marketing, my content, really everything that I could possibly want in, just an overall how to organize my tasks and deliverables on a weekly basis. And so once you get your team trained up on tools like this, what they're going to basically do, like what you can have is, instead of having these all on, notepads and Google Sheets and spreadsheets, you can actually have your week planned, projects planned, and even integrations with other tools like Slack, etc., where you can bring that into one central location. And so my message to you all is, do your best to start getting out of the Google Sheets world, getting out of the Google Drive world. Those are great for documents. Those are great for SOPs. They're great for spreadsheets and analysis, but not for housing your business and managing your day-to-day tasks and projects. So take a peek at ClickUp. I'm sorry I couldn't log into mine for some reason. I have so many freaking passwords, but I'll show you one that I think is a lot better, which is obviously Slack being a free tool. And I'll go into my wholesale business, for example, and I'll show you guys some of the ways that we've broken this down. So can you guys see my Slack? I'm going to assume yes. So a really cool tool. So Slack is a free, for those that aren't familiar, but it's a free instant messaging platform. I have managed my entire virtual company from this platform for years. And what you'll see is that everyone is obviously in their channels. I think most of us are familiar with Slack, so I'm not going to give a demo of it. But I think what's really intentional is making sure that you guys have channels built out for the different departments within your business, making sure that those are crystal clear to your VAs, what action items and things need to be taken care of, or excuse me, deliverables that need to be dropped in there. For example, my real estate team for offer underwriting, my lead manager, my head VA of my acquisitions team of my wholesale business, he's dropping in deals that are in the offer underwriting stage. right? Making it extremely easy for my brother, who's my acquisitions manager, to show up and make calls every single day. My dispo manager, he's dropping in notes and messages from my social media, from my our text platform. Basically, we have a deal out right now, and we're blasting out a deal, and so we just wholesaled a deal actually for 30K. We're super stoked, and so he was, we're integrating, or sorry, we're going back and forth on like where we need to be at on the deal. And this is all me just like being in, like I'm at the beach, I'm at my lagoon in freaking Miami doing this stuff with him, and so like it's hard work. It's not easy, but it's the beauty of being able to do all of this from the comfort of a Wi-Fi connection and having this all in a central location so that we're all enabled and we're all organized, right? And so that's really my point, team, of showing you all this, is just making it very easy again for your team to operate. Now, one quick thing I'm going to give you guys, and then we'll wrap up on tools and we'll open up for any questions just about software and different tools that we can use for different VAs. This is my new favorite app. This thing is insane. Victor is so powerful. It's just an AI app. I pay $75 a month for this. It goes into my Slack team. But what I use it for is I use it for auditing my virtual team. Like when you guys talk about ways that I can make sure my members are showing up, well, the tools track them and their activity, right? I can see how they're navigating through Slack. I can see when they're logging in. I also have this connected into my CRM, my customer relationship management system, which is Go High Level. I have my spreadsheets that I will drop in as attachments to this app as well. And so it allows me to like basically ask questions and make sure that my team is doing what they should be doing on a daily basis. And so the questions that I was asking here was, hey, Victor, can you provide updated KPIs for the last 2 weeks for my acquisitions team? And I wanted to understand how we were doing, where we're tracking towards our goals. What are some of the active offers that are out there right now? So this is like, I don't want to get too deep into this stuff because it can get a little bit nerdy with the tech, and I don't want to overwhelm when we're just building the foundation. But again, team, going back to how we can audit, how we can enable, how we can manage virtually. These freemium tools and sub $100 tools can do it flawlessly for you guys. So there's a list of them that I provided. I go back to here. There we go. Just some of the ones that I already have gone over the QA form. I'm going to give you guys all the folders and those resources. And as you're requesting access to it, I'll just be approving it. So don't worry. I'll know it came from tonight. So I'm going to drop it in and Taj will have that to send in as follow-up. I'm going to, before we even go into our little offer here and just a free action item that we have for you guys to get basically an audit, and that we'll talk about in just a second. Any questions on the topic of software and even just AI and VAs? Because I know it's a very trending topic right now.
So with that Victor app, that one it's connected to Slack, so you can see more data and information on
Correct.
Slack.
Correct.
Yeah, I like
So
that. That's fire.
dude, it's awesome. And like here, I just, I even do it for content stuff, right? Like I did this, like I'm based on your knowledge of our services. If an entrepreneur wanted to get working with our services, what would be the number one time and cost saver that I could provide to them? So this can integrate to like all of your tools, your Go High Level, and your World of Credit. I'm just not sure what other software you guys might use, but yeah, it's way of like logging your client intake, your SMS campaigns, email campaigns, text campaigns. So it's really helpful.
Yeah, I like that. That's nice right there.
But it's awesome. It's great. So that
does anybody have a question before he moves on? If not, it's all good. Make sure y'all save some questions for the end too. So that way y'all can get whatever y'all need as, you know what I'm saying? So y'all can turn y'all business up. All right, let's get it.
That's right.
Sir, appreciate it for the knowledge, sir.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. And listen, if you want to have it, like I know it's tough being in a community and maybe have more personal questions about your business that you're not yet ready to share, and that's totally fine. Really want to encourage you guys to book a meeting with us. There's no pressure. It's just a quick little overview of what we'll basically work with myself and Omnia, just quickly breaking down your business. If you already have a VA or you are looking to get a VA, we can talk about how we can set them up for success or maybe do some auditing of your current setup and just some ways that we can help improve your current VA setup. Again, it's totally free. Obviously, there's services and things that we do provide done for you. So Omnia will obviously talk about that if you guys have any interest. But we really wanted to make sure, team, that we just brought you guys as much of our experience in the VA world and really just got you building confidence to know that this is a awesome piece of leverage to start using with funding so that you can leverage not just OPM, but OPT, my favorite, other people's time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And like that's the biggest thing for me personally was when it was even doing the credit repair and the funding and stuff like that. And I remember I was doing the disputes and stuff myself at first, and then I started getting more and more clients, and then I was sitting there. That's when I knew I needed a VA because I was sitting there for like 8 hours a day doing disputes and shit. I can't sell. You can't sell when when you're fucking doing disputes. And now it's like everything is kind of hands off. Like I really don't have to do like any type of work. Like I still got to sell. So that's like my next goal is to hire more a sales team. You know what I mean? Who could do more selling and stuff online. What would you say outside of, um, would you say it would be more smart to get like as far as on the sales side, um, people from that's from here or still overseas and stuff?
It's a good question, bro. Closers are really in demand right now. And I think what Omnia and I have discovered is it really just depends on the level of your like just the how far you need to take that conversation and more specifically the sophistication of that service or product is a better way of saying it. So like we've seen a big trend right now in AI infrastructure
Right.
and people selling offers with AI infrastructure. And that's a really cool business model. But that also takes a skill set of tech, operations, understanding how you get ROI and not just like a time cost savings, right? You're replacing AI infrastructure with humans. And so that's a deeper level sell, right? But when you're talking about, trying to get someone to sell their home, for example, we have people that do that. We have closers for that. And we've successfully done that. But there's a lot of, I think to answer your question, I would say, and Omni, I would love your take on this as well. It really does, depend, I think, on the ticket and how sophisticated your offer of services, of course. But Omni, I would love your take.
Yes. So in this area, this is where we sit down and talk. You walk me through what you're doing in your business. What ticket are you trying to sell? How the conversation would go with a prospect or a client, and then I would tell you either one of two things. I can find you this talent or not. Because we have people right there, right in our team in DIY with master's degrees and PhDs and they're really, really well educated with great English. But the thing is, as Kyle mentioned, you need to make sure that they have that tech experience, for example, or that financial experience. So that is out there. The cool thing is, we do not have a team of VAs that I give you one or two of them. I don't do that. I sit down with you, I understand what you need, then we go ahead and headhunt someone exactly like what you need. At the end of the day, you get 3 to 5 people that are exactly qualified for what you're looking for. You get to either interview them one more time or you can pick and get going. But closers, I have hired closers for restoration and estimation services. I've hired closers for e-commerce and shops that were selling bikes and stuff like that on Shopify. I've hired closers for real estate. I've hired closers for medical education as well.
Right.
So closers can close. They can. It's sales at the end of the day. The thing is, it's tricky because you get someone that is a closer with real estate experience and you put them on a medical product and expect that to work. You get a cold caller for real estate, you put them on a roofing campaign, and now it's a shit show, and so on and so forth. So they do work, even as a start, just to make sure that you're not spending way too money. Make sure that this is working perfect. Now I need and I can afford having someone in house. Because a VA closer is not going to take 10% of your deal.
That's
If you
correct.
give him 1%, if you give him $100 on each deal or $50 on each deal, they would be more than happy and you would be saving money.
Yeah. Definitely. No, that definitely makes sense 1000%. So it's like basically just make sure that this person is educated no matter where they're at. And like you said, there's a lot of VAs overseas that do have good English and stuff like that too. So yeah, okay. That answered my question pretty good. I appreciate
And
that.
I would tell you one more insight, Taj, from my experience. I've worked with people from Latin America, we've worked with people from Philippines, India, Pakistan, and then from Egypt. Each one of them excels at one thing. So if you want customer service, if you want an account manager, if you want someone to follow up with your community, definitely go for Latin America. They have that kind, patient tone. They know how to just kind of do conflict resolution. They're more like calm and soothing people. If you want tick, if you want data, if you want analysis, definitely go to India, Pakistan, all that stuff. Awesome there. If you want people that are more of like, I would say not a secretary, but they're doing intake and admin work and cleaning up documents and stuff like that. Philippines are awesome, and I've worked with tons of people there, and they really just looking for anything outside of the phone at this point. But if
Right.
you want sales, go for Egyptians, man. We're crazy. We're used to. I'm
Oh,
telling you, it's
so Amaya, just this is a good example. Like, I think my recommendation is if you want to get into closer, it always good is to maybe put them in like an appointment setter role first, get
Right.
them to know your offer, know your business really well. That's what I did with Omnia. Now she does the selling and closing for new clients for me. But that's because she worked in my business for years and really understood it before I knew she could like take those higher ticket conversations. But I always think that's a good talk, like progression.
Okay.
exactly.
I like that. That's game right there. So appointment setting first, get them to really understand the business, the offer, the whole nine. And then once they get that down packed, then it's a go.
Yep.
Like it.
Always think about team when you hire a person in your business that there's an organic growth path, whether that's lateral or upwards, right? To get yourself thinking like when I get this person in here, in order to build culture, build a team, and really build something sustainable for the long run. Think about when they get in, great. They're going to execute in this role for the next 120 days, maybe even a year if they need to be in that. But what does their growth path look like after that?
Right. I like
Right. And that's we'll get really good talent for sure.
1000%. Do we have guys, do we have any questions at all for the people? And also too for everybody who's in here, drop a one in the chat if you guys currently have a business right now already. Drop a two in the chat if you do not have a business at all. All right, B said, I do. Okay. Darian has a business. Cool. Sky got a business. Miss Woods got a business. Okay, cool. Now, with the businesses that you guys have, Tyler has a business. Oh, we got some business owners in the building. So obviously, all businesses, and y'all already know, my big thing is making sure that we able to scale on a digital level, no matter what business we have. I don't care if you do roofing. I don't care, like my guys just said, landscaping. Like at the end of the day, there are so many digital products and different things that you could be selling in the landscaping world digitally, online. So, and that always boils down to being able to scale using a team of VAs, regardless. Because we want to be, you could only do, when it comes to landscaping, you could hire teams and you could have people doing physical work, but y'all can only do one yard at a time, one lawn at a time, one business at a time. Even if you got 20 different, teams on your business, and that's cool, but you could sell millions of digital products. And you create it one time and you can sell it forever. You know what I mean? And you got teams that's going crazy. And the day trading too go crazy. So for everybody who did drop that one in the chat though, out of all you guys who just dropped that, how many of y'all have virtual assistants? How many of y'all have VAs right now or are interested in, if you do have a physical business, you're interested in going digital and getting VAs and scaling your team? I don't. I'm interested. Okay, yeah. So Tyler definitely interested. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, family, this is really what it means to really scale. Miss Woods, I'm interested, trying to scale, gotta scale. Hey, Sky, you going crazy though, bro. It ain't no trying, man. Trying is down. You scaling. You scaling this year big, all right? I should have been got one. I ain't understand them. Yeah, B. You definitely got to get some. I got some VAs though, as far as on the disputing side, but as far as customer service, I just got my first customer service rep. And I like that game that y'all just gave me too, as far as different different roles and different people from different places do different roles a little bit better. So I'm definitely taking that into consideration as far as the Latin Americans for like customer service on the kindness side and all that stuff and everything like that. I like that was game. So I'm
Yeah,
taking
no, definitely. It goes a long way, I would say. And Omnia's gonna know to like double down on that because she just dropped her calendar and link in there. So please book a call with her, guys. But I was gonna say think about like English as a second language in Egypt. That's why I had them on the phones with customers, doing anything customer facing. A lot of my Filipino VAs were really good in data science. They happen to handle a lot of the CRM stuff, data analytics, data work, and it was just by nature of cultural skill sets.
yeah.
So,
And I like
um,
it too because it's like and everybody, y'all got to really pay attention to this as well. Is the whole point in hiring anybody in your business is to like I said, you're removing yourself from your business so you don't have to wear all the hats. There's people who wear the hats, but also too is that you're not going to be an expert in every single thing your business needs. And so all you have to do is be able to identify what your business needs to grow and scale and then hire the right people who do it. You might not even know a lot about this topic, you know what I'm saying? But they
hey,
are the experts.
I have been blown away by how smart these men and women are. And so, yeah, guys, you'll be blown away by how much they want to perform and do things that just problem solving. They'll just solve problems for your business in ways you never expected when you give them the opportunity in the creative environment. Sounds corny, but you got to give them that enablement and creative environment to really thrive. And
Thousand
that's,
percent.
I actually
yeah, I may jump in.
I wanted to answer a couple questions. I know that might be going through your head, guys, right now, or might come through your head after this call. Is um, two things. I hired a VA before, and it was the worst experience in my life. That's true. They can be a nightmare. We can be a nightmare because I'm a VA. But if you put me in the wrong position, I'm going to be a nightmare. If you do not give me clear communication, you disappear on me, you let me just drown in work that I don't understand what's expected from me, I'm going to be a nightmare. If you're not really clear on deadlines and when do I get time off? When do I get paid? How do I get bonuses? How can I make more money? All that stuff is not clear. Again, it's going to be a nightmare. But the most or the worst one that I've seen is having the wrong person in the wrong position. We had a teammate at the time called Jessica. Jessica was a dear friend to me, but she was in the wrong place. She had that customer service experience, she had that calming tone, but we had her cold calling and doing sales and trying to get homeowners to open up. That was not the right role for her. And it was a bad experience for her and for us because it we had a good talent, but we assigned them the wrong task.
Mm,
So that's the first point. Just make sure that you have the right person in the right place.
I like
The
that.
second thing would be payments. You guys need to be very careful how you're paying your VA. If you're skeptical at first, just make sure that you have someone for 2 hours a day, 1 hour a day, depending on work volume that you have. Make payments a weekly thing, not a monthly thing. Give them a 90-day probation period. No bonuses. I can fire you at any time within these 90 days. Prove yourself to stay. You proved yourself to get in, you have to work hard to stay and be a part of my team. Build incentives. Once you pass the probation period, here is a KPI bonus.
Nice.
Here is a percentage if they're in sales or closers or anything. Be smart about how to get them bought in and committed, and give yourself time. If it's the wrong VA, you can back out.
Mm,
You're not committed to anyone. Don't give that 1 month notice to let you go in the beginning. No, man. I'm offering you something. If it's not a good fit, it's not a good fit.
I like that. I like that a lot. That's some free game. I like that.
A- Absolutely, yeah. Because here's the thing that I think what I got that maybe Kyle doesn't have is I've been a VA. I've been sneaky before. I've been trying to do, sneaky shit here and there. So I catch them pretty quickly. Like I know when you're bullshitting me. I know when you're saying something is not true. And I always told my clients, hey, watch out. This person is lying. I was 100% right all the time because I've been that one before. So I get the VA and I
Literally,
get the business owner. Yeah.
here's the last piece of game I'll give you from my end that double downs on that is like, and not the last piece of game. I'll always keep giving game. I'm just giving to the piece that literally it aligns so well with this is, and it doesn't sound like you should do this, but I promise you guys, it's the greatest thing for you. The moment I stop being the CEO and overseeing my virtual team and let someone from their actual VA world do that for me who could speak the language of the VAs. I'm not talking about speaking English. I'm talking about empathizing with the VA team. Someone that had their trust, right? And that could help with cultural differences, do that as quickly as possible. It does not happen overnight, but how you do it is you start with that one VA, you build them into the beast that they are, to that knows your business inside and out. They will soon become an Omnia who's an operation. I've had three different operations managers. Omnia left me after being with me for 3 years as an operations manager. The two operations managers after that, I'm sorry to say it, Omnia, were almost even better at the job that she was because she had trained them so darn well. And that's a test. I'm only saying that because that's a testament to how great she is. Is like she left my business in a better state with the operations managers that she gave me. And that only happens by having them lead after you get that one person bought in, and then they will run the entire, no matter where they are in the world. And there's going to be some cultural differences here and there, of course, and you might find some cultures clash with others. However, the thing that's so valuable out of this, and I'll get off my soapbox here, and I just hope you guys understand, is that once you're able to get the operations manager in that seat to replace you, is when your business becomes extremely fun. And then they will handle all that BS, all the incident handling, all the payroll, all the putting out the fires, everything client related, right, Omnia? That you have a big smile on your face for, that you got
Right.
pieces on.
I do. Yeah, I don't think Kyle would have been able to handle 50 people complaining about payroll or complaining about time off or asking for time off or wanting to go to the bathroom or wanting to do this or wanting to do that. It's just a shit show, but never, ever, ever, ever get into the VA world and start by two or three or just have big goals and I want to have the team right now. No, because you're testing yourself and you're testing the VA. Always start with one VA, ideally part time, and then scale as you go. I saw someone saying here, I think it was Sky, make one the manager once the trust is built. And then Taj told them, or hire someone that is qualified to manage them. So I want to share two different scenarios that happen there. And it kind of depends on the situation, guys. If you have someone in the team that is qualified to be a manager, it's better to push that person to lead the team than bringing someone on the outside to manage the team. If you don't have anyone qualified within the team, go ahead and hire someone to manage from the outside. But usually it's a smoother process and easier transition if it's someone within the team that the team actually trusts, that the team actually sees that this person can lead us somewhere. This person's going to be fair. In the team, everyone calls me Mama Omnia because they know I got
Because
so
you running it up there.
yes, I'm mama out there. Even though I'm literally younger than most of them. They're married, they have kids. I'm just 28 something, 26 something at the time, and it just did not make sense. But they felt like this person got our back. Kyle got our back, and we're gonna give 100%. So if you have that person in house, that's gonna be the easiest transition. If you don't, then hire someone from the outside. This is why when you're hiring your first VA, as I said, personality is very, very important because you're thinking long term right now. I'm not thinking about the task. I'm thinking about someone helping me scale my business.
Yep, 1000%. I like that.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, big time.
1000%. So, and I want to say this real quick too. I'm gonna drop this link again for, especially for the people who did say that they were interested in the hiring a VA and stuff like that. I just dropped the link again that she had posted. So just make sure that y'all click that link for everybody who said that y'all interested. Click that link, schedule a call. So then that way y'all could get on that path of being able to line yourself up with the right VAs for the role that y'all looking to hire. Um,
Correct.
and so it honestly, there's a lot. Like I got a lot of questions, but it'd be too much. But I'd say so with the you had that one that list that had all of the like the Facebook groups because that's where you said is like okay, I prefer to um, cut out the middleman and stuff like that. Are there any other, if you are going, okay, boom, you just dropped it right there. Perfect.
Yeah, guys, that's going to be the folder that I went over. That's going to have the hiring application example, the welcome video example that I had, the whole SOP for
Okay.
like the hiring funnel and the resources that I share with you guys, as well as I didn't even go over, but there were some example interview questions that you could have in there. Um, and that's just for those that want to try to do this on their own, right? And that's always a good path to go in. And the thing that Omnia will do on this audit, and that what you'll see is that we do that whole process for people, and we can do that process for people and make sure that they're successful. And we have different levels of like staying on staff and other things of that nature.
Yeah.
But so that's definitely we wanted to make sure that there was two paths for each of for everyone in the community for sure.
1000%. And that form does make us request access to.
Yes, it does. Just go ahead and I'll start.
Cool, cool, cool.
Uh,
So everybody make sure that y'all click on that link and then y'all request the access as the viewer right away so he can like go ahead and confirm all that so y'all can
yeah,
get.
I'm accepting all these right now for
Do you
everyone.
have like any places outside of the Facebook that if you are going the middleman route that you prefer or suggest other than like Fiverr?
Always Omnia, always Omnia, and the group that so it's basically an offer that we run called DIY Recruit, and it's through Omnia's program, and she's been able to help obviously position a lot of people for us inside my own business, but also within other people's that we work with. So that's one route you guys can take, and then also there's always Fiverr, always Upwork, right? Because that's going to always be a premium and often quicker way of getting talent because they already have these people teed up on the platform, and that's why there's a cost associated with it. And so we just try to offer a more of a customized version, and there's a couple different ways that you can go. And then of course
I
Amanda, did you have a couple?
Yeah, sorry to cut you off. So Taj, that's a great question. So three things you can go to. One, Riva, which is a Facebook group that has literally VAs from all around the world, anything that you want. It's called Riva Real Estate Virtual Assistant, yes, but it's not really about just real estate. However, I would go to that website or that group if I have time to audit and I have time to drop and review multiple CVs and stuff like that. If you have the time to do that and you have the quality or the ability to identify the right candidate, go for it. If you're a people's person, that's the quickest, cheapest way to get someone in.
Right.
And
Second,
that
if
link's on the list, by the way.
It's on there too? Okay, perfect. Hey, let's go. Let's go. All right, second. Oh, we got.
second, you go to Fiverr and Upwork if you need a one-time task that's done as Kyle mentioned, on a premium level. But Fiverr does not, it's going to be expensive, but it does not give you consistency. I would not hire a VA for my marketing and social media platforms from Fiverr because they're going to do one time job, disappear, and you hire another person, you lost consistency there. You lost consistency in your sales and the tone of voice that we have with our clients. So if you have a job, a task that does not require the person to stay long, kind of project based, go to Fiverr and Upwork. This way you can see their previous background, client reviews, they're verified, they're checked. you save yourself some time, you don't mind paying, extra $2, $3 an hour, go for that one.
Yeah.
I want a team that stays with me for 5 years, and I want a team to build my business, save me some time, and that I can trust long term. You have the link. Talk to me.
1,000%. Yeah. So once again, everybody make sure that y'all book the call because yo, I really enjoyed y'all energy and y'all time this evening. Especially the knowledge, the information in the game. I just caught some game for sure that I gotta use. Um there's gonna be and then another thing, y'all, is like they said they were giving some sauce away earlier too in the call just on the hiring process and stuff like that. Um, because that right there is a whole can of worms in and of itself is onboarding a VA. You not only just hiring them, but then when you actually hire them, you got the onboarding down packed and everything like that. So, and I see that you just dropped your. I'm gonna drop your actual IG real quick too. I'll drop the link. So y'all make sure that y'all follow my guy Kyle. Make sure y'all stay tapped in, and I strongly encourage everybody if you're interested, or even if right now you feeling like you're not you're interested but you're not right there yet, I strongly encourage y'all to still book the call, get on and ask questions so y'all can get answers, and then y'all start working y'all way towards y'all goal. Because the quicker that y'all already know what time it is, like the quicker that y'all really get the ball rolling with everything that you need to, that's the quicker that everything's gonna come that y'all been looking for and that y'all been asking for. Just like y'all took action getting into this group, a lot of y'all getting results. Y'all gonna be funded by the summertime, all these different things. Well, now things tend to take off pretty fast once you start getting access to capital, and then you got your business rolling and you're running ads and you're hiring people. A lot of these things start moving fast. So we got to be on it. So that's the reason why I provide these resources to y'all. But do we got any other questions before we wrap up? Do we got any other questions? Any?
Definitely appreciate the opportunity to come speak, man. Love it. Always can talk about this, guys. Like I dropped my like Tao said, excuse me, I dropped my Instagram. I'm always active. Definitely take Omnia up on the VA audit. She loved, like, again, we love talking about this stuff. But really enjoyed being with the community, bro. Excited to see this continue to grow and to continue to see you grow as well, man. And we gotta get in person. Let me know when you're in Miami. If anyone's in Miami soon, let's link up, please.
It should be. I would. You know what? I don't know why I didn't hit you when I was just out there. I don't know what the hell. I don't know because I was at Smitty Inner Circle event out there.
Bro, that was this weekend, right? Was it that the tax?
No,
Was
no,
that the
I
tax?
was I was out there in January, but the tax one was my homegirl, Dr. Rosie. She had to join out there, the tax one. But no, it'll be soon, bro. I should be out there sometime soon, next few months or so. So we'll make it happen, bro. And yeah, everybody make sure y'all drop some fire in the fire in the chat, y'all. As they came and lit it up. Obviously, y'all know that this recording will be in the group as well as the call link and the material and the resources, y'all. So make sure that y'all book the call so y'all can jump on and get this shit rolling. All right. Um 1000%, man. I appreciate y'all for coming out. Appreciate the game, man. That shit definitely legendary, bro. Legendary. B said I'm booked. All right, cool. All right, B booked the call. Perfect.
I
Um,
love it.
much
All
love,
right.
y'all. I hope y'all have a great evening, and I will talk to y'all soon. All right, family? Let's get it.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a good one.
Thank you.